Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan. Welcome to another Blind Watch Party. Tonight I've got my son Jayson.
Hello.
And we've got, for whatever reason, a big panel for this movie. It's Austin the Day Ghost.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
And Connor Nielsen. You can't do that, it's copyrighted by Toho.
Darn it. Crap.
You gotta do the weird
look
jackal
out the
laugh.
window.
Let's start a new stream. Everybody join us over there. I'm so sorry. Party foul. My bad.
Tonight we're watching a movie that I've never seen, but that all three of these yahoos have. And Jayson, what are we gonna watch and talk about tonight?
We're gonna watch Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, aka Invasion of Astro Monster.
Yeah, it shows up as Invasion of Astro Monster on YouTube, and if you look this up on Google, that's actually the first thing that pops up, and you see a lot of like slash Monster Zero.
Yes.
Connor first showed this movie to Jayson, and he loved it so much that for months and months, I mean, this is like a year ago now, he's been trying to get me to watch it, and tonight, our night kind of opened up, and I was going to do a video just with Jayson, and I was like, what do you want to shoot? And he was like, let's do a commentary on Godzilla versus Monster Zero, and then I went back to Austin. Austin didn't think he could be here tonight. Suddenly he was able to, and I was like, hey, Austin, guess what I'm going to do with Jayson? I'm going to do Godzilla versus Monster Zero. And Austin goes, that's my favorite Godzilla movie. So then I was like, okay, I guess I have to invite him. And then I thought, Connor's not even going to want to be friends with me anymore if I don't invite him. He's the reason we're doing this. So I sent him a message. So it just turned into this giant thing now. And I'm going to let these guys do all the talking. And I'm just going to watch this movie and kind of react to it in real time. So Connor, why don't you set this up for us and tell us why you wanted Jayson to see this so bad and why you're so excited that we're doing this evening.
Well, so like Austin, so for those of you guys who don't know, Austin and I actually share a birthday. I think you're exactly 2 years younger than I am. And then we found out we actually share a favorite Godzilla movie. So it's like we're really brothers from different nations, you know? Like we're really, you know, we share the same blood, right? And so when Cap reached out, well, first of all, when I found out you were doing this, I would have just been happy to be in the comments because I love this movie. You know, just as long as the joy of Monster Zero is being spread, I'm cool with it. But I wanted to show this to Jayson because I remember around the time I was visiting you, Godzilla vs. Kong had come out about a month or so.
Yeah, and we reviewed that together, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, the three of us did.
Oh, that's right, I forgot.
Hey.
I enjoyed that movie.
And I think you had mentioned that like Jayson had some interest in maybe watching a Godzilla movie, or like if you know I wanted to show anything to Jayson. And growing up, this was my favorite Godzilla movie, and I know that you guys are a Star Trek household, and this very much has that '60s retrofuturism angle to it, and so I figured, hey, you know, why not introduce you know, Jayson to Godzilla through, you know, maybe the most 60s sci-fi version of it, and it's one of my favorites. And there's also, this belongs to a certain period where there was like a brief window in time where all these Toho monster movies had one American actor, and so we're watching the dubbed version where all the Japanese people are dubbed except for the one white guy. So this is my favorite one of those movies. This is much better than War of the Gargantuas. This features Nick Adams. So I don't know. I'm just happy to be here. I love this movie, and I'm so happy that Jayson, it seemed to make enough of a splash with Jayson that he wanted to show you. So that warms my heart.
And I feel like it's a good, like, one-off movie. Like, you don't have to see other Godzilla movies in order to enjoy this movie.
That's a good point. Which is interesting because it's kind of a sequel to Ghidorah, the three-headed dragon, but you don't need to have seen that. Yeah.
Which is also very standalone and is also a sequel in a way to Godzilla vs. Mothra. Like, it is weird. Like, they are picking up stuff, but they are very standalone.
I'm excited. This is going to be a learning experience for me because I've only seen a couple of these, and I saw a Mothra movie. It might have been that one. And I think I've seen parts of Mechagodzilla, and I know you've seen Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, it's been
probably half your lifetime ago.
Yeah, I for some reason I was gonna say 8 years, but probably not 8 years.
Quite that long. Yeah, anyway, The reason we're watching this dubbed is because that's the version that's on YouTube, and I don't own this movie, so there wasn't really any other way to watch it. It used to be on HBO Max, and Max still has a few Godzilla movies, but not this one. And Toho's kind of notorious. They're kind of like Disney used to be before Disney Plus, where their stuff is just not always the easiest to get your hands on, and they might as well have their own vault. So I don't have this. I didn't have any other way to watch it, so that's why we're having to do it this way. So anybody that's annoyed at us for watching this dubbed and not subbed, that's just because I don't have it. Otherwise, we would be watching it that way. But the nice thing is, more of you guys will be able to watch the version we're watching because that's widely available, and you don't even have to pay any money this time. So the link to Invasion of Astro Monster on, because that's what it's called there, on YouTube, is in the description. So click on that, get it to timestamp 0, and get ready to press play. And if you're watching the Criterion version on DVD, what do you have to do, Austin?
Just skip the Criterion logo. I would also show my book, but it's over there, and I don't want to have to stand up.
That's super cool looking. It's massive.
It's beautiful, and they have like fully painted images for each movie. It's awesome.
Jedi Knight says he's on HBO Max now. Do you mean that you're actually able to watch it that way? It's okay. I guess the reason I thought it wasn't on Max was because I didn't realize at the time I looked it up that it was called Invasion of Astro Monster there as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it is available on HBO Max. I've already got it rigged up on YouTube, and YouTube seems to have fewer problems with the bandwidth issue we've been having lately. So I'm still going to watch it this way. But we'll go ahead and do the dubbed version, and I kind of want to see the hilarity that Connor's talking about with one person not dubbed and everybody else is dubbed. So I'd rather watch it this way anyway.
I mean, I watched it subbed, and it was also funny because everyone was subbed except the couple of guys who were speaking in English, so it was kind of weird.
Like if there's one you gotta watch dubbed, it's this one. I think it's just as good both ways.
Good. Okay. Well, then that's what we'll do. Everybody ready to get started?
Yes.
Here we go. So I'm just reacting.
I mean,
this is a 1/4 reaction video, and then everybody else will probably have actually insightful things to bring to the table because they've seen this before. You guys feel free to talk amongst yourselves as we go. I'm going to kind of just take this in and occasionally ask questions. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. And if you need any help in the comments there with timestamps, just let us know, and somebody will give you one. Janus Films.
Listen.
Bright lights of silver and gold shine as Toho Company.
I want that for every movie now.
A Diamond Escape. Japanese characters. Invasion of Astro Monster.
Bright red Japanese characters.
I do want to say this is one of my favorite Godzilla scores. It's got a very high adventure sound to it that I really like.
Absolutely. The Godzilla theme is also like a highly underrated movie theme. Like it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I'm glad they at least brought it back for King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong, since they didn't use it in the first two American movies. I don't think it's in the Emmerich movie. I could be wrong.
I don't recall.
Okay, my movie just buffered for us for a minute. What's your timestamp, guys?
Well, we also have an extra logo.
130. So 128.
You have an extra logo?
130.
It's the Criterion logo.
Yeah, so I'm
so your timestamp's going to be different from my timestamp.
I'm going to give you a 5-second buffer. So,
okay. No, don't say buffer.
140.
And now we're in space.
145.
Yes.
The Monster Frontier.
Oh my god, all I'm going to do is compare this to TOS this entire time, aren't I?
Yeah.
And Planet of
This
the
actually
Apes,
comes
right?
out the year before TOS starts.
Right. Yes, but the year after The Cage. And The Cage looks more like this than TOS does, so
Interesting.
you already have those comparisons.
I love these miniatures. They're adorable. Oh, they're so wonderful.
I can't like hear the movie very well.
You may just have to mess with your headset, dude, because I'm getting it fine.
Like, going to Planet X, the home planet of
Can
Groot.
you hear now?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I've been reading early Fantastic Four, and today I
Yeah.
read issue 7, which has the Master of Planet X messing with
that's
the Fantastic
awesome.
Four. So that was kind of serendipitous.
Oh, see, now I'm just imagining that guy gets rock powers and that guy gets stretchy powers.
Planet Earth is much better than Planet X.
Somebody a second ago said X 2.4, and I was just remembering that weird DVD release of the first X-Men movie that was X-Men 1.5, and then X2 comes out, and you get X 2.4. There's like a little bit of extra special features, but not quite as much as you got with X-Men 1.5.
Should have let your sister on ice. I love him. He's so good in this.
Well, this dub is matching the lip sync better than some other things I've seen. They're trying.
It should be noted, this is the first Godzilla movie to be a co-production with a U.S. Studio, and I think this was the first one to get U.S. distribution, so maybe there was an effort to try to make it as good as possible compared to some of the later ones.
And would you say maybe to also make it a little bit more Americanized? You think there was an attempt there?
Mm-hmm.
That could be, yeah, because the movies before this are all kind of screwed over by the dubs. And then, of course, the original movie's a different movie, or at least a different cut.
And that's the sound that just makes people flee from the movie theater.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
I'm so glad we're watching the dub for this.
This woman sounds like a Looney Tunes character.
She does. They're keeping the baby awake. Then why's the baby on your back? If you want the baby to sleep, try putting it in a crib.
No, put it on your back and sway around. Like, whoa.
You know, I never tried that with my babies. Maybe I should have. By the way, welcome
Sure,
everybody
really-
watching live.
Yeah.
We haven't really been interacting with folks, but we appreciate you being here. I'm not going to look at the comments as much as I usually do because I want to focus on this movie I've never seen. But you guys feel free, Connor and Austin, to occasionally look at the comments and throw stuff out if you would.
I got the comments right here, looking down and making
Got
sure
your
I-
comments right here.
The surprise
comments
faces
coming.
are so funny.
Connor's looking down on all the comments.
Or the facial expressions kind of cartoony, Jason.
Yeah.
I love this explanation of Planet X and how they discovered it.
Please forgive the crudity of this model. We got alien radio wave. Space.
So Jedi Knight says said American actor was also in War of the Gargantuas. That's actually not true. This is Nick Adams, who is a famous cowboy TV actor. Well, I guess famous is relative. But actually, War of the Gargantuas featured Russ Hamblin, who actually was famous. He's in West Side Story. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in Peyton Place. He went on to be in Twin Peaks. So very different actors, but they were both in this. And Nick Adams is actually entertaining, and Russ Hamblin looks bored out of his mind in War of the Gargantuas.
That's because he's in War of the Gargantuas and not this.
That's true. That is absolutely true. That movie's not very good.
Oh, I thought she was going to be like, I can't take you seriously now. That's like if you said comic books.
Oh, toys!
I love her costume. That is so
Yeah.
60s. Like I can see Darwin Cook drawing that. It's awesome. I love her hair. I love her. Oh, it's
The veil?
yeah.
Yeah, she looks like an Adam West Batman villain. Or at least like a henchwoman.
Yeah.
Her name is Kitka.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was gonna say, she looks like an Adam West love interest that turns out to be a henchwoman.
Just rub some Vaseline on the lens. It'll be a Star Trek woman, too.
She could almost be a Bond girl. I mean...
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say...
What we're basically saying is that women in genre things in the 60s all look the same. That's... Or at least the costuming.
That's true. That is true. I also love the playfulness with the production here, because I don't know if the set, like the wall on that set, was actually supposed to be the night sky, like right here, or if it's like a wall in universe, an actual wall meant to look like the night sky, but they keep cutting between this and the model ship against the night sky, and it's really fun. I think it's kind of playful, where they kind of know how artificial it looks, but they're rolling with it anyways.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward that's supposed to be a facade in that restaurant.
Because you see the ripples. Oh, that's a great transition. Oh, I love that scene transition. Oh, it's so good.
Oh my god.
Wow.
These space exteriors don't look bad, and they're actually on par with TOS. I mean, for this period, they don't look bad.
I forgot Planet X is right behind Jupiter. It's not even at the end of the solar
Has nobody ever noticed this planet before?
That's what I was saying. What I loved about the explanation. They say we weren't able to find it because it's a moon hiding in Jupiter's shadow, and that's why we could never find Planet X before.
I forgot that. That's amazing.
So it has the exact same orbit?
Yeah.
It's moving like this? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I don't mean to say that the space stuff looks like brilliant and good enough to be there, now obviously, but it looks as good as anything else from this period that I've seen.
Cap, you sound like a teenager's father.
Oh, I almost am a teenager's father. Jayson's 12.
Oh my god.
I know. Feel old, Connor.
I don't know how you feel then. You must feel like the Crypt Keeper. I'm so sorry.
Ooh.
Oh, I stand corrected. Daniel Davis says Nick Adams was also nominated for an Oscar. So I guess.
Why not for this though, right?
I mean, he should have.
was. Best actor in a foreign film. It was that category.
Omar
I love
Sharif
these
and Dr.
models. I
Zhivago.
want one. But yeah, look at the detail on this planet model. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
What's with the streamers? And then, of course, the obvious comparison before TOS is Forbidden Planet. Which I've still never seen more than clips of.
How dare you?
I know. So I almost said something really stupid earlier, and I'm glad I didn't, but I'm gonna throw myself under the bus anyway. For a minute, before they put the visors down, I was like, are we supposed to believe they have Oh!
See the little fish wire? Aww.
Whoa. That is so slow. I forgot about this.
Look at the little dude. Look at him go.
Dad.
Just hang perfectly still.
It's an action
I'm sorry, I'm
figure.
reading comments. I gotta quit doing that. Why does it have its hand on his hip?
He's a cool guy, Cap.
This is astronaut Fuji. He don't mess around, all right?
One
It's
giant leap
awfully
for action
tall.
figures. Did your mom ever tell you that if you keep your thumb up, it'll get stuck that way?
I also love that he has a gun. Like he's just walking on the planet with a gun.
I think so. I've mentioned this to you before, Kat. I love like mid-century retrofuturism, and I think this movie might be responsible for it. I love ray guns. I love jetpacks. I love flying saucers. We get the ray gun here. Like, I love their costumes. I love all the set design of Planet X that we will see. Like, it's really good.
Yeah, no, I love that stuff too.
Then you need to watch more TOS.
I will. I absolutely will.
But if you haven't seen The Cage, you'll really appreciate that, and you'll probably wish that the rest of the show looked more like that.
I actually have seen The Cage.
Oh, you have? Cool.
Yeah, I watched that in high school because I wanted to start watching Star Trek, but because it's TV, I just fell off of it.
Yeah.
But I like The Cage. Apparently, it's like really boring, and a lot of people don't like it. I thought it was cool. I like it.
It was too cerebral for regular audiences.
I'll be right back.
Okay. According to the studio that made them do a second pilot. And then I guess maybe the studio was kind of, or the network, I should say, was kind of right about it, because you're right, it has that reputation. But I promise not to spend the whole time talking about Star Trek. I really love this set, though.
I love it, too. I love the little gold and blue, like, in the ore.
The silver and gold mixed in.
I think I'm more impressed with this. Again, I can't stop doing the TOS comparison. I think I might be more impressed with this than I would be otherwise, just because some of the TOS type stuff they're doing looks a lot better than that. You could say, well, that was TV and this was a movie, but that was, believe it or not, one of the most expensive shows for television, and The Cage was kind of made like a movie and with more of a movie budget. This is a soundstage planet done with lots more texture, and clearly a great deal more work and time was able to be put into it.
Yeah, and it's not a Hollywood production.
It's true.
Because that was a big reason for why Godzilla had to be a guy in a suit, was they couldn't afford to do stop motion like King Kong.
Are you good?
Yep, I'm good.
Welcome back.
Yes.
I love how tiny the flagpole is. It's kind of...
Okay, so Space Travel 101, if you land on a planet and you see a big circle of rocks, I wouldn't stand in the middle of that. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I was really expecting something to land on it. Like, that was like a landing pad, or like maybe a monster was gonna come out underneath it.
Please step into the cylinder.
Oh, I thought you were just making up stuff. That's actually what he says.
You have no choice. Please get into the cylinder.
I can be honest with you guys, I don't even need Godzilla to show up in this movie right now. Like,
Oh, he
That's
doesn't.
Godzilla for you. He'll maybe get like 10 minutes of screen time.
oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the Godzilla movie with the least amount of Godzilla in it, and I love the human characters. I love this story. I just think it's fun. And then you get Godzilla as a nice cherry on top. He's so good.
This is already kind of
That's
like
kind of
The
fun
Cage,
about
where like they land on this planet and then they have to go immediately under the surface, and there's an elevator.
I can't wait for when we get Ghidorah though, because I love Showa era Ghidorah, where they clearly have no way of making his heads go in specific directions. So they just kind of flail around the whole time.
Kind of like the BBC TV production in the 80s of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy with the Zapop Beeblebrock's head that was supposed to be animatronic and move, but it was broken and didn't work, so it just kind of bounced around a little bit. And they left it on even though it didn't work, so it had a mouth that would just occasionally open and be like, it was really creepy. It would just go, and then it would close again. We really need to do a discussion on that at some point. Or maybe just a blind watch party. I would love to make Austin watch that. That would be really funny.
That sounds awesome. Oh my god, it's a Bryan Singer X-Men movie that he's going into.
But made by Willy Wonka?
Yeah.
Because I really thought it was getting smaller as he walked down the corridor. Well, that's ominous. That was a really great reaction. He just looks back like, oh, it's darker now. All right.
I believe that there was a light on behind me when I came this way before.
Oh, at least he looks a little bit more scared. Like, your line is, ah! You can take off the helmet. We can breathe air here.
Oh no. It's this. This is for.
I love them.
They're so good.
They're so good.
Why do we have Frank Miller mutants wearing spacesuits?
Extend our warmest welcomes.
Please sit down. We are slice and dicers.
Jedi Knight, Willy Wonka's an alien. It all makes sense now. James Curry wants to know what the first Godzilla movie I watched was. Actually, the original, the 54. I didn't grow up on Godzilla movies, and I mean, I probably saw, you know, the scenes here and there on TV or something, but I never sat through one. Well, okay, the actual answer is the 1998 Godzilla, but like beyond that, the actual Godzilla movies, because I saw that in the theater. And I went to Taco Bell and I got the Godzilla gorditas. Remember those? You guys won't, but that was a thing. Anyway, but I saw them for the... Okay, well, if you're prone to seizures, close your eyes. But, yeah, I saw that in a college class and fell in love with it. But didn't watch any more of them because I didn't want them to get too cheesy, because I loved that movie legitimately.
I love how the, like, strobing lights is, like, completely brightening up Connor's background.
So
I'm actually surprised it's not doing it to ours.
Yeah, it's just his.
I
Whoa!
love that shot, that close-up of him in front of the flashing light. That's so 60s. I love it.
There he is.
Yeah!
I just love that his head's still done, like,
Everything is numbered here. This one is 0. It's like comic books. There will be a number 1, but one of these arbitrarily will be 0.
The hand motions.
That's something, when I was visiting Cap, Jayson and I would always, like, from across the room, start, like, doing those hand motions that he does. It's pretty funny.
We have failed. So, Connor, you did a Godzilla impression at the start. What is your Ghidorah impression?
Okay, 1 second. Oh man, my throat's way too dry to do that.
I don't know.
Connor's like, I don't have my Casio keyboard in front of me, so I can't do one.
My favorite is Rodando. He's just like, oh.
I love in Ghidorah the Three-Headed Dragon where Godzilla and Rodan are playing volleyball with a rock for like 80% of that movie.
Did you guys see that they got like their smart digital gaming table? Like, can you bring up Monopoly on this thing?
They've been put in Mysterio's head.
It's in the duck.
Hey, that's water.
What? Why did it suddenly turn into like Super Mario World?
What are you talking about?
Well, it had like the little like circle thing, and it went.
Boo! But yeah, Austin, that's the way you should always do exposition. That's water!
I like immediately after.
This is for the audience.
It's okay, gentlemen. Monster Zero is he's gone now. What else happened?
An exterminator.
More movies should have exposition like that.
Could you give us your monsters? No, this is a joke. Deadly.
Dead
Serious. Yeah, honestly, I don't even understand why we're laughing at this at all, because I'm at a place in my life now where I've watched way too much Power Rangers. This is just normal cinema.
Except now it's widescreen.
I watch a thing like this and I'm like, why can't we make a good Power Rangers movie? Like, really. All these guys had to do was come down and say, hey, look, we need to speak to that Zordon guy and get some Megazords, and you have a Power Rangers movie. Like... Connor, there's a lot of camera push-ins for dramatic effect. You got characters that are like reacting to something, and we go.
Okay, I don't know if maybe I'm a little bit behind you guys, but that tunnel with like the light circles, I love that. We see a little bit more of that later on. Oh, it's I love it.
Oh yeah.
So they're like, the monsters are all numbered. I'm like, why didn't you just say 1, 2, and 3 then? I don't. 0, 0, 1. 0. It's so arbitrary. They could be like, this is monster 0001. I love this shot. Like, this movie is responsible for like 19 music videos in the 80s.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Devo to start playing.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not Frank Miller mutants, they're Devo. Whatever. They're all things from the mid-80s.
They're celebrating this video killed the radio star.
See, Jayson, was that you that just did a King Ghidorah impression?
He did. It was pretty good.
It was really good.
Why did you guys watch this without me when you were here, Connor? This movie is great. Connor was like, Cap's not going to care about this.
Well, actually, you know, with King Ghidorah, you just have to do the cool spot, but a little more high-pitched, and then just go...
So wait, he's cool spot plus a putty equals...
Yes!
Ghidorah? Okay.
Yes.
Jayson, that's the Japanese flag.
That's amazing.
Did you know that?
Yes.
No, okay.
What?
What?
That blue flag?
Yeah, that's the Japanese flag. No, you idiot. That's the United Federation of Planets flag. Don't you know anything?
No, that's why I asked.
Okay. I have a question.
Is it Price is Right? It looks like Price is Right.
It's Bitterest Row? That man's like 450. 450, Drew.
Gonna give us a gift of pizza.
Stop looking directly into the camera.
Oh, it's unnerving.
Wait, did she just say she's head of the organization of women?
The housewives delegate, yeah.
The housewives
Yeah, she also got
delegate?
like a piece of Mothra's wing in her hair.
Okay, well, I don't mean to be insensitive, but if they get a vote, why don't we just put them to work? I don't understand.
It's a Paramount logo.
What are we in Indiana Jones now?
Checkers, thanks for the super chat. Checkers just put in a great $2 super chat that says, "This is what Scorsese means by cinema." That's what he's talking about.
I'll be right back.
Matthew Bass, these humans are idiots. It's hilarious.
I want to sit in a room with Martin Scorsese and watch the clip from I forget which one it is. Maybe it's Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, but the one where they introduce Godzilla by he comes out of the ground. I want to watch that.
I'm hearing awesome echo.
Oh, weird.
Exactly.
I don't know why that is. I'm not getting that on my end.
Okay. Okay, now I don't hear anything.
Well, that's because I muted my mic. I was kind of worried. That...
Oh.
Okay,
Oh.
hold on. I'll do what I can. What is happening?
I wish Professor X's Cerebro was just a tanning booth that he went in that allowed him to see everyone on the planet. Just looked like that.
Guy looked like he was playing Connect 4 on the wall.
What you doing? You playing Connect 4?
By day, he's mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent.
By night, he's Monster Zero.
Checkers, I want Scorsese to see the Godzilla tail slide.
Yes, that is true.
The Godzilla tail slide? I don't know what he's talking about.
I think that's from Godzilla vs. Megalon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jaguar holds Megalon up, and then Godzilla slides on his tail to kick Megalon. It's pretty wonderful. I
And
think.
then he backs up, and then they just play the shot again.
I can't forget about that damaged H2O plant. H2O is water!
Hey!
Hey!
I can do kindergarten science.
Mr. Wayne will be 10 minutes late meeting her at the museum.
Is that the 66 announcer announcing scenes from 89?
Yes. That's William Dozer as Alfred Pennyworth. Look, Terry, I don't hate my own sister.
I'm just not a fan of the organization of women.
Why do they have a vote?
Just won't put food on the table.
Why are they talking in different languages to each other and they understand each other? Why won't they just speak in the same language?
Or have a translator? Why don't they need that?
Man, that set must have been crazy. Everyone's just confused.
Look, just
what?
pretend like you know what that guy's saying. You hear his lines,
pictures in Italy.
then you say your lines. Just be grateful that nobody has to speak phonetically. We are taking off with the top down.
That's right. Astronaut Fuji is played by Akira Takarada, who is pretty much the MVP, returning actor throughout most of the Showa era. He's really good. I like him a lot. And even though they're speaking different languages, I think he and Nick Adams have really good chemistry. RJ Godzilla 81 pointed that out in the stream, and I agree. I like it.
Oh, thanks for being here, RJ Godzilla, since your name has Godzilla in it. This is probably the first video where you're like, finally! They're doing something I care about!
I agree with the part of your name that's Godzilla. I don't know about the RJ part.
81.
Well, we'll be
Kinda
happy when
cringe.
we finally talk about Jungle Fury.
Were you, that's hilarious. Austin, were you just flashing back to UHF? Have you ever seen UHF?
Yeah, we watched it together.
Oh, we did. That's right. Well, I'm sorry. Somebody the other day I thought had seen that movie, and then they were like, "I've never seen that movie." So
That was me.
no, you've seen that movie.
Well, I don't remember that movie.
But but you remember the guy that runs the TV network? His name is RJ. RJ.
I actually
This
did-
town means about as much to me as a sniveling bowl of dog snot.
Dog snot. We'll have to do a live screening of that before that biopic comes out.
Oh yeah, we'll have to review that when it comes out too. That's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we've been talking about doing some Weird Al content. We might want to do like maybe a week or two of Weird Al concert of content, or do like a Weird Al month or something. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
For the 9 people that will care, it'll be really fun for Oz.
Yeah, because we talked about going through his albums, and an album review I think would be really easy.
Oh, of course.
Just have like music going, just, like while you're doing whatever.
Well, I'd love to do that, but then you'd get flagged, and then you wouldn't be able.
Oh,
to...
I don't mean in the video. I mean like it would be an easy way to like do it beforehand. At least for me.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Listening to it.
See,
I
even
just
in the
looked
middle
at
of commentaries, we're planning things. Stop announcing things.
Put it on the list.
Stop. Look, you can trust a planet named Planet X.
Hey!
Call them
H2O is water. You could just use that.
There's a Marvel event in the 90s called Planet X, which was a sequel to, or no, yeah, that's a sequel to something, or maybe it's Earth X.
Well, because Planet X is where Groot is from.
Okay. No, I think I'm thinking of Earth X, and then there was Universe X. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
That's what it
Because
was.
Groot is the king of Planet X.
I
least
didn't
at a
know
certain
that.
point. Yeah, well, it comes up in Abnett Landing. There's this great part where they go to this like space UN, and they can't get in, and they're only allowed in because Groot's the king of Planet X.
So this is a very fun subversion.
It's royalty.
Well, hold on. Maybe I spoke too soon. Never mind.
Doesn't Marvin Martian also go to a Planet X in a Looney Tunes cartoon?
Probably.
I believe I'm right about that. Whoa! Look at that helium-fueled flying saucer. It looks like if you got a big enough pin, you could pop it.
It looks like a gummy Krabby Patty.
Whoa, there's more of them. Oh, it is a flotation device. Okay.
Marvel at our flotation devices.
So I think this is a really fun like subversion because it's like in a lot of these Godzilla movies you'll see like bubbling under the surface with some lights and then Godzilla shows
comes up, yeah.
But now we get this.
But
lovely
instead, it's
shot of the
multiple
3
flying saucers.
saucers.
Oh, but just 2. Oh, now there's 3. Time passes. Now there's 3. So wait. Because I saw a little bit of bubbling happen. Was there a third one that third one was supposed to come up, and then they went, "We don't have time to show you that." So now it's just in the sky.
What?
What?
This picture's too long. You gotta cut some of the shots shorter.
Whoa. That actually looks really
That looks
good.
really good, really cool. Yep.
I love their flying saucers. I love the white and blue color scheme that they have.
This
going
kind
on.
of model work is awesome. Oh, and in this shot, it actually looks more metallic.
It
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of Ego's ship in Guardians 2 in this specific shot from this angle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely, I'm a Day the Earth Stood Still kind of reference.
Of course,
here.
yeah.
When is Gort gonna show up?
So
I need to show Jayson that. He's still never seen that. That's referenced in the first episode of Strange New Worlds in a really good thematic kind of way, and I was pretty happy with it. Sorry, what kind of...
Oh, I was just gonna ask Austin: is this the first Godzilla movie where they deal with aliens?
No, there's alien. There's like I don't know if it's like technically an alien thing, but in Ghidorah, the three-headed dragon, there's like the princess that goes missing, And then
That's
I think
right,
she's,
okay.
like kidnapped by aliens. There's something to do with aliens in that.
That's right. I'd forgotten that. That's true. Alien has become a staple of these movies throughout the show era.
Oh yeah.
These are my favorite ones, though. I love their costumes. I love their voices.
Oh my God! Star Trek Into Darkness ripped this movie off. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Star Trek Into Darkness. Well, me too. Because I mean, why bother? But Star Trek Into Darkness opens with the Enterprise spying on a civilization underwater, and they're not supposed to. They got to be really careful about where they come up at so that they're not seen because they don't want to break the Prime Directive. And then these guys are like, "Hey, you were in our oceans without our permission, like watching us." Like it's the same thing.
That's true. Yeah.
Washigazawa. What?
Oh my God, that guy's radio was like this big.
Yeah, no, these
Voice crack.
aliens are awesome.
Oh, this is one of my favorite.
And it works because
favorite
they
effects
feel
shots.
sufficiently alien enough, but they don't have to. You know, they can get away with making them humanoid.
Mhm.
So wait, are they stealing Godzilla?
Yeah. There he is, 39 minutes into the movie, he showed up.
And he didn't even decide to come up. He was just minding his own business, and then suddenly there's a tractor beam.
I love that effect with like, the circles creating the tractor beam.
I love the way he's like cuddling his tail.
Yeah! Godzilla went in the fetal position in his entrance in the movie.
Well, yeah, he was frightened.
Godzilla's dramatic entrance
In his
is
egg.
This is one of my favorite effects shots where they're blowing away.
a
the sound of
flying
the sound.
saucer shows up and pulls him out of the water, and he's stuck in the fetal position.
They're
And
gonna
we're
do
there,
it
it's
again.
Like, hey, what the heck? I'm sleeping here.
Connor, I'm
He just, like, had a
imagining
giant rock.
Get it?
I'm
there?
imagining a different version of this, where it's a Green Lantern that comes down and does this.
Yeah.
He's got his ring, and he's like, "Rrrr," and then he pulls Godzilla out with his ring.
See, I was thinking that they're in a like Invisible Woman force field.
Oh, sure. That works too. Well, we saw the Fantastic Four's origin at the beginning of this film.
That there is one of the great cinematic images. UFOs holding in tractor beams Godzilla and Rodan above the water. I love it.
Austin, why does he look like if Egghead from '60s Batman was wearing a jogging suit?
Well, he also looks like if he put on a giant hat, he would hang out with a little monkey. That was very curious.
You would have gotten
Oh.
closer on the bingo board here than you did when we did Clifford, and you had that on your bingo board, and it didn't happen.
I still wish that was the post-credit scene. That would have been the greatest
Dude, but
thing
I don't
ever.
think they have the rights to that character.
No, I don't think so either, but it would have made my night. I mean, that movie was already wonderful, but...
I'll marry you when I get back. I have better things to do.
I gotta go to space, baby. Come on.
They're stealing our
Don't have to get
monsters.
Taken. I don't have time to marry you.
We gotta stop these monsters. We gotta stop these aliens. They're stealing our monsters.
Follow that car.
Also, I'm also imagining if this was the plot, because I'm seeing all these things from later that I've seen that may or may not have been influenced by this, or might be making fun of things in this, and I'm imagining a version of Mars Attacks, where the Martians come down and instead of murdering people, they just try to steal our monsters.
Okay, I love the fashion here. I love those cream-colored like suits with like the yellow turtlenecks underneath. I love Akira Takarada rocking the shades with it, like the triangles on like the shoulders. It's
I didn't even
like,
notice that until you pointed it out.
contrasting that with like the black gray kind of scale of the aliens. Like
It's the cage.
it's such.
Oh yeah.
Cap, since they're stealing all of the monsters from Earth, do you wish that there's a scene where somebody on Earth goes, "Oh no, they make our monsters go"?
Mr. Astronaut Glenn.
Yes, but I also want somebody to do that thing I'm always making fun of from the '95 Power Rangers movie, where with Dulcia, and just go, Godzilla is a monster. I'm not sure what that back-off shot was about.
Well, they did all the pull-ins before. Now they're doing a pull-out.
Yeah. By the way, one of my favorite push-ins is where
They're pushing.
Fuji and Glenn they're in a crowd and they run up, and then it's like a push-in, and then Glenn he tucks his fingers into his belt.
Whoa.
From underneath, the flying saucers looked like, not as much in space, but they looked like parachutes. So it looked like there were parachutes flying away with monsters.
They got caught up in the wind.
Jedi Knight says, Joker, they stole my monsters! Why didn't anyone tell me they had one of those things?
3 of those things.
Yeah. Boy, I love that the
And
lead alien just has hand gestures to tell his men to do things.
Yes.
You guys, this is nothing like what I expected.
What were you expecting?
I don't know, because I've seen a couple other Godzilla movies now, and I thought it would be closer to those, and this is... I didn't expect anything up my alley like this is. This isn't a Godzilla movie. This is a 60s, space opera movie. I mean, we're not spending a lot of time in space, but it's a lot closer to a, I mean... It's not fair to Planet of the Apes to put this in that category. But genre-wise, it's closer to something like that.
Actually, last August, around the time of my birthday, I finally sat down and rewatched and redrafted a list of my favorite films. And I didn't want to, I just started listing movies that were my favorites. I didn't want to stretch to 100. I didn't want to contract it to 50. I just wherever I stop, I stop. And this movie made that list of favorites.
Wow.
Not on that list, Mulholland Drive, Casablanca, and The Godfather. So, but this made it. So
favorites
anyways.
doesn't mean best things ever made. Just stuff Connor wants to watch.
And Troll 2 also made the list, mind you. But
yeah.
This one is absolutely above that. I love this movie. It's absolutely one of my favorites.
You were
this guy is having an identity crisis. He thinks he's Clark Kent sometimes. Now he thinks he's James Bond. This guy cannot decide who he is.
Yeah, Connor, you were I'm going to put together a list of all my favorite movies, and I don't know where I'll stop. And then a giant Russian man was like, if he stops, he stops.
RJ Godzilla says this is very much a Star Trek episode with Godzilla in it. And, Connor, I gotta tell you, I'm actually almost irritated with you for not telling me to watch this. You took Jayson into a room, and you had him watch it. You were like, Cap, you go off and do whatever, because Jayson really needs to see this movie. And, I didn't expect this to be as up my alley as it is, but I gotta say, it's interesting that this shot is amazing.
I know.
It's amazing.
That's what I'm talking about. I love that tunnel of light. I love it. That's 60s to me.
It's weird that we have Batman and pseudo Star Trek connections to Godzilla with this, because there was almost a 66 Batman Godzilla crossover thing, and now I feel like we're nearly getting that with Star Trek. Yeah, this whole thing is kind of blowing my mind.
I will say, the reason I didn't have you watch this, it was a Sunday morning. Sarah was pregnant with twins, and you were like, Connor, I've been hanging out with you all week and all. Sarah's tired. We're going to hang out. I'm like, oh, yeah, totally. I understand. And you're pawned off Jayson. You're like, all right, Jayson.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry for making fun of you. That I didn't remember that.
Cap.
So it's really your own fault. if
Is
you
it?
think about
Okay. That's not how I remember it, but I'm gonna trust you because I have a crappy memory.
Connor, you're a guest and all, but I'm kind of done with you. I've had this kid for a long time.
Dude.
You go off with him.
Connor and I were staying up till like 3, 4 in the morning, like every night he was here,
And Sarah was like really pregnant and like going to work and stuff. So like you guys needed to hang out and like spend time together. So yeah, no, I totally get it. But now I get to watch it with you.
Yeah.
And I get to watch it twice. So this is great. It's great.
And at a time when I'm not sick of being near you.
No, Connor, please. I mean, you're welcome back anytime. I hope you'll come back again.
I will. I absolutely will. Hydrogen oxide, water is more precious here than gold.
It is
They all
more
look at each
precious
other.
than silver and gold.
Hey, H2O, that's water!
Oh, there's another thing that Fuji and Glenn have this thing where they kind of look at each other when like a situation goes south. They do.
I can't tell if that was Ghidorah or you were choking.
Don't do it when I'm drinking!
Oh, I love
Oh,
it.
gosh,
I love
that's
that little rating.
That's creepy.
I love Godzilla's first response to being conscious in this movie. What? Huh? What's going on?
Just hang on, I got something stuck in my throat.
All right, here we go. Yeah.
What is happening? What's with all the shaking?
I love when Godzilla does the roll thing in these movies. It's so good.
I'm not sure why Connor did a Watto impression from Star Wars a minute ago. I got the chance cube here!
Hey, Lenny. Hey, Lenny.
No, it looked.
No money, no pots, no deal.
I know this is gonna date this commentary, but I'm really hoping he shows up somewhere in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I've watched the first 2 episodes of that. He's not there yet, but I'm holding out hope. Unless in canon somewhere he's dead and I don't know about it.
It's not like they care about canon, Cap. It's the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Yeah, throw rocks at him.
Oof.
Do it. Yeah.
Yes! I love the jump tackle. It's so good.
I feel like this fight came completely out of nowhere. It's like we dropped them off of this planet and then... Okay, now we're fighting.
Hey, it's like we haven't even built So happy I got to see that on camera.
Godzilla thinks he's a power, you guys!
No, he thinks he's Donkey Kong.
Or a cheerleader? What was this? Why is he so skinny? He's
That's
like,
like
you know
one
those
of
like...
the big 3 moments pitched in the franchise.
Oh my god. You know those like bendy figures that you get where like a Batman or whatever that has like no points of articulation and it's just a bendy figure? That's what their Godzilla is. He's like, if you take one of those figures, you just bounce him up and down and then his arms just flail around.
I also love how typically, they shoot Godzilla kind of low, so that he looks big. But in that shot, he looks so small.
Yeah!
Far off, jumping around.
You needed anything in the background for scale. Yada Yada says that was actually a popular dance with teens in Japan at the time. And if he's
Wait,
not joking
what?
and that's true, I didn't know he was dancing. I thought that was somehow part of his like fighting stance or something. Like I didn't know what was happening.
It's his victory dance.
Yeah, it's his victory.
They won.
It's his
so he's
victory
dancing.
stance.
Oh.
Yeah, Monster Zero retreated, so he's celebrating.
So what you're saying, if Godzilla played football and got a touchdown, that's what he does?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
See, I thought that was somehow part of his fighting. You're saying that was a fancy Dan. Okay. Well, oh, you're being literally backed into a corner.
Yeah, it's like that, the sliding kick moment, and that the one where he like flies from America to Japan with his atomic breath. Those are probably like the big three like amazing moments.
This felt like a really weird like let's make a deal moment where it's like you can take the big gold brick or what's in the pizza box.
Miss Nemikawa, have you forgotten me? Oh, I love this. The thumbs down. They do that a couple times in this movie.
Oh, you know what's about to happen? There's going to be a couple of hula hoops. They're going to go around these guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guilty. Guilty.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Except this is a decade before that.
Yeah. Hey, H2O is water.
We have that here. Why don't you scoot up a little bit so that you can be heard, man?
Oh, this looks so cool with like the black void. It's like
Yeah, I love the hands popping out.
I thought when he was like, why do all the girls here look the same? I thought he was going to be like, that's sexist. They don't.
typical American.
Can't you tell the subtle differences?
Connor.
I bet you're thinking. Yeah, I remember when you and I were painting figures, Cap, and I made an issue in the paint, and then Jayson just looked at me and went.
And then when you fixed it, you did a little happy dance.
I was honestly taking this movie half seriously until I witnessed that.
Now they have a piece
We
of
have this
styrofoam.
old
It's painted
styrofoam.
I'll be right back.
Oh, by the way, we built an exact replica of your spaceship. Anyways, cool. You guys wanted to go back now.
That rocket doesn't look the same. What are you, shipist? Can't you tell the subtle differences, you typical Americans?
Hey, girls, Earth ships look the same or something, bro? What?
They rebuilt our ship perfectly, except my seat is like 2 inches forward, giving me less leg room.
It's like they know just where the camera is. Godzilla is hailing, Captain. Oh, on screen. Standing there. We'll see you later, astronauts. Connor, you know how earlier I said that we just saw like the beginning of like every 80s music video ever? There were some other ones I wasn't thinking about. The rest of them were Godzilla doing this.
That birth.
Well, you know what
70s.
this is? It's the safety dance.
You know, Austin, you can dance if you want to, and you can leave your friends behind. Because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
Well- Bye, Godzilla.
Bye.
Godzilla.
Thanks for cameoing in a movie with your name in the title.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. So wait, is that all we're gonna see in
Maybe.
Godzilla in this entire movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he comes back.
I was worried about that. It's like half an hour more of this Godzilla. You are gonna have Godzilla in your Godzilla movie, are you?
Yeah, this movie's more RJ than Godzilla. No, I think that's why I laugh at people when they go like, "Oh, like this Godzilla movie doesn't have enough Godzilla in it." When like this is one of my favorite Godzilla movies, or like it is my favorite, and he's got like 10 minutes of screen time. Like yeah, that's...
Are you serious? We're leaving you here until we
It's
can
a
confirm your
game
identity
boy.
as either James Bond or Clark Kent. How are you supposed to read the dots? Like,
Whoa, Cap! Now you're making fun of their language. That's not
oh,
okay.
sorry about that.
You're like, oh, these primitive aliens with their dots.
What just happened?
Well, it's an alien bat computer.
It just came out of nowhere.
I like that you can basically see the stagehand just like throw the page down. Like, yeah.
Oh,
That looks great.
that looks really good.
I love it.
Yeah, Connor, the map paintings in this are on point, man.
Yeah, and I love like the miniatures are very detailed. When I was a kid, I didn't know they were miniatures. Obviously, I do now, but like.
Yeah, I had that
the-
with lots of stuff too. You know, like a lot of shots in Batman '89 never occurred to me that they were miniatures until I was like in my 20s. Like,
Oh yeah, no, I legit thought they scaled a building in Batman '66. Like when I was a kid, I was like, yeah,
oh yeah,
really
of
easy to
course.
scale a building, you know.
Like, wow, it must be really easy if this guy that has his gut hanging over his belt was able to do it.
Little chicken legs, Burt Ward.
Look, we had a whole conversation last week, Austin, about how Adam West wasn't actually out of shape. Like,
Ah, he was 60s in shape.
Thomas Lowe says, "Stop making sense of the movie." Are we doing that? I didn't think we were making any sense of this movie. Although this has been, and we're talking over it, this has been really easy to follow. Like, I know what's happening.
Yeah, it's a very simple plot.
This actually works really well as like a riff track kind of movie.
Oh, there it is. He does it again. Nick Adams does that thing where he always stands up and then like tucks his thumbs into his side of his belt.
It's like almost the Riker maneuver before the Riker maneuver.
I'm actually not familiar with the Riker maneuver.
I can't read that. Do you think that guy was saying water? Water!
Ah!
Hey!
Oh, it's Kramer. What's he doing?
I don't know what I'm looking
His
at.
face-
I'm sorry.
It's like a newsreel.
Mass panic in many areas.
On the march.
Dun, 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 dun. Xanadu's landlord.
And they sent Hitler's men packing.
I want Lone
You'll get 'em, boys.
And, start explaining that the aliens ain't that bad. Okay, this has my favorite line reading of all time in it. I love this scene. It's great.
Oh, are they robots?
Well, you ordered to marry me?
So wait, are the women robots or cyborgs?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I believe
okay.
they're women.
Well, she said she's governed by electronics or something. So I thought maybe that meant she's a robot. Because I thought this was supposed to be the explanation for why they all look the same. Oh, wait. And then he says we're not robots.
He's saying humans are not robots.
Right. But is he saying you're a robot, we're not like you because you're a robot? Are we sure she's not a robot?
I don't know.
I think she's a robot.
The people of Earth are gonna fight for
I thought she
freedom,
was a
baby.
robot.
Has a computer stripped of your conscience? Think hard. Love it.
Because if so, now it's got like a whole Mud's Women thing. Now I'm going to specific TOS episodes. That just seemed like a reveal because they were like, they all look the same.
Oh, here it comes. This is it.
RJ Godzilla says they're cyborgs. Okay. It had to be one or the other.
Well, I don't think he has a choice.
Wow, oh my god. These aliens are legitimately intimidating.
Connor's this part.
Yeah.
Is this the lion?
Yeah, it is.
Whoa.
I bet it is.
You know it's bad when you go negative.
You rat. You stick a rat, what you doing to her?
You guys maybe built that up a little bit too much, but that was funny. You stinking rats!
You stick a rat, what you doing to her?
You realize by this point you're not in a gangster film, right? Like...
Falling in love with you wasn't part of the plan.
We'll be wiped out by radioactivity. You know, we explained what water is earlier. I'm a little surprised we're not explaining that.
Oh, here it comes.
Look out the window!
Hey, if you saw that out your window...
All I'll say is my
Wow. It's apparently really easy to blow up a rocket ship.
But not a satellite. It's a bit harder.
You gotta melt that one down.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I was wondering what you were
Three-ways.
doing to this satellite. Okay, so they definitely have different models for their flying saucers. I'm almost positive of this. I think they have Connor like an easy plastic one that they can like float around, put on wires, and then they have a bigger one that's like the hero model that's actually metallic and heavy.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
And I think it might be like they might when they had that shot where they were arriving, they might have like the bottom part as a set, and they might have a matte painting making up the rest of it. They have several different versions.
That's a possibility, yeah. Because those look almost blow up.
Yeah.
But I was shocked when we got the close up of the one on the ground and it had all that texture and reflected
It's
the
like
ground off it.
Yeah.
I was like, if you showed me that first, I wouldn't have made fun of it as hard.
I love that they've mind controlled Godzilla and Rodan through magnetic waves.
Yeah, Matthew Bay says, I respect how serious that actor is taking this. No,
Hey!
I'm saying, like, I don't think Nick Adams is bad in this. Like, I'm not laughing at him. I don't ironically like him. I think he's legitimately entertaining in this movie. And I love him. Like, unironically, I think he's great.
And sometimes he looks like a middle-aged Fox Mulder.
He... David Duchovny's like, I'm gonna go blonde. See how I can do that.
Yeah, but there is a way out, though.
No,
We remake this movie and then we put David Duchovny in it.
Well, you know what? You know how everybody has their pipe dream project? If I ever won like an Oscar, I would legit try to remake this movie. That's like my goal. That's my dream. I would remake this. Maybe get Aaron Paul or David Duchovny to play this game. Play this game.
Aaron Paul.
I love how different those choices were. You'll either be Aaron Paul or David Duchovny.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, one of these things is nothing like the other. They had a straight up time passes shot. They were like, this is a clock. This is how many hours have passed.
What was that clock?
It's just a clock.
That
Look,
was,
sometimes a clock is just a clock.
It had 24 hours on it. It was like an unusual
that clock was really weird.
You know, Austin, you see a clock like that and you wonder, why don't we just do time that way? So it was 12 hours.
Why we do time that way? I'm so sick of how time works.
There's 24 hours in a day. We just make it like military time. You got clock goes to 22. It's 22 hours.
Look, I don't feel like having 24 hours today. Maybe we shorten it for the day. I don't want to do it that way today.
It's not even AM and PM. We just have a 12-hour day.
Maybe I only want to have a 4-hour day, you know? One of those.
Why are we from Jersey?
I don't know what's happening.
Today I want a 4-hour day. Oh my god. Why don't we just do time like this?
Just make sure your seconds are seconds, right, Cap?
You're not supposed to bring that up again. I'm outraged.
Ouch.
Ouch. Now, men, remember, H2O is water.
Hey!
This is a force
Look
field.
out the window!
Don't stick your hand in this,
Woman
gentlemen.
in Spider-Man 2 that like screams when Doc Ock's climbing out up the building. I wish she yelled that.
Men, I've invented the pod racer. A laser.
A laser beam.
Okay, we got two ideas. One is a laser. Another one is that whole oxygen destroyer thing. What do you think? Which of those should we go for?
O2 is water.
What would happen if one of those guys just jumped on and hugged that Earth right now? Like, would it stop? Would they just spin around with it? If I was in that room, that's what I would do.
The stagehand underneath would curse at you for doing that.
He wasn't even moving his mouth.
That's a message from Dana Scully.
She says she wants to believe. How can you not? There's flying saucers in the air, baby.
I'm sorry, I will be right back. This is the last time.
She just left this letter. It said, "Why did you leave me with Robert Patrick?" What was that about? This is what David Duchovny was doing when he left that show.
He went back in time to make this movie. He made his hair blonde so that he wouldn't
No, I mean, like,
disrupt the
in-universe.
timeline too much.
I mean, in universe, Mulder like left and then he went
Oh.
off with this.
I much prefer my version.
That's good too. That'd be pretty crazy if time travel existed, but only David Duchovny had access to it.
I really doubt, Connor, if the direct translation from the Japanese was "it works, yay."
It's working. It's working.
See, because they just invented the pod racer.
If only it played country music like Mars Attacks, and that's what defeated them.
I don't know if that was country music. I think it was yodeling.
Is it yodeling?
Yeah.
I saw that movie like once when I was like 9.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I was this movie's weird.
Oh, that movie's amazing. You need to watch it again. I think you'd love it now if you haven't seen it in a while.
Probably. I just remember being like, oh, that's so weird.
It's one of my favorite Tim Burton movies.
And I was like, all these people that I like keep dying? I don't like that.
Hey, Austin.
Yeah.
Put it on the list, buddy.
Okay, I'll put it on the list.
Although nobody's going to watch that, because Jason and I did a review of that movie, and nobody cared, but I love that movie.
I'm going to put Mars Attacks
Mars
and then
Attacks.
in brackets, but no one will watch it.
It's like an inflatable.
Oh,
like,
UHF,
something with a
too.
light bulb in it.
Oh, yeah, I'll put that on.
Thanks, man. Meanwhile,
You're welcome.
back at the barge.
Meanwhile, at the Barge of Doom.
Why is this thing so good at blowing up stuff except satellites?
Why did Jason just make the home improvement noise? They're like,
No, I was trying to do the like the side of the UFOs.
oh, okay.
I know what we should do. We should hide in this, what do you call it? Water.
Hey, H2O is water.
Look, we found a tire.
They're not gonna ferry us across. Keep swimming. Start swimming. The idea of distance swimming was like a foreign concept to me when I was like a little kid. So
I'm sorry, what did you say? Social distancing was a foreign concept to you? What?
Bravo.
I just missed what you said. What were you saying?
Oh, I said distance swimming.
Oh,
like, just,
distance swimming.
That's what I thought. You were just like, you heard what I said.
No, I wasn't making fun of you. I honestly didn't hear what you said. That's what it sounded like, but I was sure that's not what you said. But you know what? That's what all the kids are into now, social distance swimming.
Yeah. It's a different kind of distance.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, by the way, I love that line when they show up and then like that Fuji's like, beat it, Tetsuya. He like doesn't even let him talk. He's like, beat it, Tetsuya. No, it was just like, I'm like, they swam all the way back to land. Like, what? How did they do that? They needed a boat to do that.
From certain angles, the flying saucer looks like it has angry eyes. With the things in the bottom.
Oh, I need to look for that.
I don't know if those are wheels or what they are. Good, we don't like red dots.
I love how they all have, like, you know, voices that are like, oh, we are aliens, and this one guy's like, he's got a very deep voice. It's like, what does it say?
Oh no.
I love how Austin's favorite Godzilla movie has the least intimidating possible Godzilla.
What is happening with this Godzilla?
I mean, of course, I like the ones that are, like, crazy. This Godzilla vs. Mothra and Ghidorah the Three-Headed Dragon are probably my 3 favorite. Like, just as like a back-to-back like point in
That's really
series.
good. Terror of Mechagodzilla is also really good. That
I
one actually
feel
has,
like
a pretty
the
decent
more of
story.
these I'm seeing, I'm gonna have to put them in different categories. Like, I don't know how to compare a thing like this to like Shin Godzilla or the 54. Like, those are my favorites because they're like actual serious masterpieces.
Well, it's kind of like Rocky for me, where like Rocky 1 is like the best one no matter what, but I love Rocky 3 because it's so entertaining, but
Yeah.
it's not as good as the first one, but it's also probably my favorite.
Yeah,
It's
3 is
kinda-
great.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, in a guilty pleasure way, Rocky 4 would almost be my favorite if it weren't for the montage.
Well, Rocky 4 is
What's
also
wrong with
great,
the
but I think
montage?
Rocky 3 is funnier than
Can't deal
Rocky
with the
4, to be
montage.
honest.
It's funny, but like
Okay.
it just stops everything for a clip show, and you're like,
You're not gonna believe this, but like today, one of my coworkers, while he was working, was like, "Hey, guess what I'm watching?" I'm like, "What?" "I'm watching the Rocky IV montage." He was just listening to the music while he was working and watching. He's like, "It's awesome," and I'm like, "I'll be watching those movies pretty soon."
You should have just turned to him and been like, "Happy birthday, Polly."
Excuse me, everybody. I gotta go to lunch. I got a short lunch today. I got 6 minutes, just long enough to watch the Rocky IV montage.
Which one?
Yeah.
The one in the car.
Whoa, that-
Sorry, I'm talking about the one in the car that's the clip show. These models look pretty good too.
That's probably because they're stock footage from Rodan.
Okay, but that could have had crappy models. Like, I don't know.
No, that's true. That's true.
Like, did they take stock footage from a less cheap movie than this? Like, I doubt it.
Yeah, that's true. They would take stock footage from a more expensive movie to, increase the...
And
Much
remember
as
I
Zero
like
needs to like
going
blow
where they
away the
buy
a
stock
house
footage
made
from
out of
cheaper.
Lincoln logs. They're all like flying everywhere.
Big feet coming.
He's in Godzilla's in slow motion right now.
Ah!
Yeah,
This
no,
score is amazing.
I love it. This is some good destruction, like with all the miniatures. Oh, it's great. No, but you're right. Like I was joking. Like they actually did like do model work and like have new stuff. There is some Rodan stock footage later, but I think that was original for this one.
People make fun of Power Rangers for stock footage. It's like it was already a tradition.
Yeah.
In giant monster movies, in Japan, like I don't know. Power
The
Rangers
stock footage gets worse later, like towards the end of the show era.
does it?
There's like a
yeah.
point where they start just replaying like whole sections of earlier movies, but they're the cheap movies, and it's like really bad.
Yeah, when King Ghidorah shows up in Godzilla vs. Gigan, he attacks Tokyo with stock footage. Like, it is just stock footage.
That's hilarious.
I will say, I've said, like, my dream project would be to remake this with, like, big special effects or whatnot.
Yeah.
I would include a couple shots of stock footage from, like, the original Rodan. Just sneak it in there.
I meant to bring this up on my rewind last week when I talked about Batman vs. Two-Face, but one of the things I loved about that animated movie was that it uses stock footage from the previous movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they had Return of the Cape Crusaders, and the first time the Batman and Robin get in the Batmobile and leave, it's the exact footage they made for the first movie. They reused all of it. They're like, it's 60s Batman. We have to have stock footage.
And when they go like in the elevator.
Yeah.
Or not
the elevator.
The fireman poles.
This is Rodan stock footage. The model is so much more elaborate. The grain is so, like, grainy.
And there was some reverse footage, too.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, because obviously I mentioned this earlier, but with the Ghidorah heads that fly around, is that because he's always shooting the lightning out, because his heads are flailing around, it's like he can't aim. They just hit wherever they hit.
Why does Ghidorah's sound effect sound like a dot matrix printer?
I don't know. It's very different and otherworldly.
It sounded like the Emperor.
It's like the Emperor with a hemorrhoid.
I want to turn off the sound and just make Jayson do all the voices now.
Like, no, that's Lego Yoda's death sound.
Pew pew pew.
I love that the fireworks are like bouncing off of the suit.
I forget which one it is, but I love there's the one where like the suit catches on fire and the Godzilla guy's just like As he,
Jim
like,
Kirk
stumbles
Motors
around.
built what?
Jim Kirk Motors? What? What's with all the Star Trek crossover in this movie? Okay, so I might have just missed it, but have the alien spacecrafts ever tried to shoot their beams at Godzilla?
Oh, they're mind controlling Godzilla.
Yeah,
right
they're
now.
mind controlling.
That's what's happening. Okay.
Yeah, they're using magnetic rays to mind control them.
Okay, thank you. I'm caught up on the plot now.
Magneto could mind
Wait.
control them if he wanted.
I lost it somewhere where I wasn't completely understanding why the monsters were attacking, and now I'm caught up.
Yeah,
I
they were
love
gonna.
how Rodan's just kind of like.
Why is he jumping around?
He's drunk. He can't stand.
That's like my whole thing is that the entire time Godzilla's just hungover in this movie. Where he's like, "What's going on? I'm on planet X. What happened last night? Huh?" And then he's like mind controlled. He's like, "I have no idea what's happening."
He was just peacefully sleeping in the fetal position and then woke up on another planet. Rodan was just living in a mountain. Like, there was no clear way he could have gotten in there.
Mobile
and
oil.
So when the aliens came to steal the monsters, did they how do they know where the monsters were? Like, do the humans just perpetually always know where Godzilla is?
I think they have like sensors or something, because the humans are like, we're not sure where they are, and then they're like, oh, like Godzilla is in the middle of this lake, Rodan is wherever.
They just turn into General Zod from Man of Steel. I will find them.
Yeah, I think it's like because like they've already like embedded themselves into Earth culture, and like they have like Geiger machines and stuff to track like the radiation to know where they are. I think that's
'cause they're all
I think that's the
radioactive.
explanation.
Yeah.
They better have aliens in the next MonsterVerse movie that they're making, because we haven't had aliens yet.
Good call.
Oh, yeah.
Connor, do you want them to just remake this?
No, because I want to remake. This.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I need to remake this.
The
If you
rumors
remake
the
it,
next
though-
one's supposed to be Son of Kong. That'd be so weird if that's the next movie.
That would be weird.
Connor, if you get to remake this movie, you have to hire Jayson to do the voices of the monsters.
Oh, absolutely. Very fun.
And Jayson is the voice of the squeaky door.
Ghidorah sounds like an old woman that has fallen and can't get up.
I've fallen, and I can't get up. Jedi Knight says, who would win, a giant Rocky and Apollo or Godzilla and Rodan? I don't usually do the fight questions. I thought that was a different question when I started reading it, but now we have to answer it because I read it.
Well, Rocky, his entire thing is that he just gets punched until the other person becomes weak, like they run out of stamina. So Godzilla would eventually become tired, and then Rocky would knock him down.
Wait, but I would just want Godzilla and Rodan to win so that Godzilla would do his victory dance.
I would
Rocky,
want
let's-
that to be an alternate Rocky 3, so that they get giant and then they fight Godzilla instead of Clubber Lang, and then at the end of the movie it's Apollo and Rocky are giant and they don't know how to get smaller, but they still do their behind doors sparring match, but while giant.
All I know is that if it's Rocky 3 Rocky, I want Rocky to run around punching at Godzilla going, "You are so bad! You are so bad!"
Whoa.
You ain't fat, you ain't nothing.
Rocky's getting beat. Now he's getting angry. He's a wrecking machine.
Godzilla should be in Super Smash Bros.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll never
Yes.
get the rights for that.
Well, no.
The tail sweep.
And as soon as they do, it'll get yanked away from them after the first year or two they have it, and it'll be the first Nintendo DLC you're just not allowed to use anymore. They'll yank it from the server.
also for the Rocky versus Godzilla question, it depends which Godzilla we're talking about. Because if it's Japanese Godzilla, he would fight it like for a while. If it's like the new American Godzilla, he'd get like punched once and then he'd be dead for like 20 minutes, and then he'd get back up and fight some more.
That's exactly right. Guy's an epic wimp.
Yeah, he dies like 16 times in the 2014 movie.
Jayson had to get up for a minute, so I'll do it. Somebody get this lightning effect off my face! I'm in a Warner Brothers cartoon. People keep drawing on me. Austin, we said it prematurely now. That was the place where we should have said, I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Oh, Godzilla kind of went like this.
Oh, he got his hand in his mouth.
What are you doing? Are you... Quit eating Godzilla.
They're all having seizures. They're epileptics.
Everything's flipping out now.
We lost control of the monsters. Escape into the future.
What are they even shooting at? Just a house?
Yeah, that's like that's a secret base. That's where they were held prisoner by the Exilians.
Why is there secret base in a bed and breakfast?
Some scenic bed and breakfast on an island somewhere.
Yeah, it's like the hotel Stephen King based The Shining on.
Forgive the crudity of this model.
We must escape into the future.
Austin, I'm realizing, and again, it's hard to tell how much of it is intentional, but there is more than a little bit of this movie in Captain Invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
They're funnels.
No, it's night lighting for a baseball game.
Yeah.
They like funnel energy through those into the cannon.
Into the future.
We'll escape to the future!
I love that with like the fire behind him and it's all red. He's like, "We will escape to the future, a future unknown." And then it explodes.
Yeah,
I
take
love
that, bed and breakfast. Yeah.
Whoa. That was
Blew up
really
a
good
house.
timing.
$5 for Wi-Fi. I'll show you.
Oh my God, he's got googly eyes.
He's back.
A dinosaur story. Godzilla's just playing kickball?
Get up, punk.
Oh, they got the wires on Rodan to pull them up.
Yeah, you can see the wires.
You guys have really been holding out on me. Like, this is the best blind commentary movie we've ever done on the channel, and you've all seen it.
Rodan's just chewing on his tail while Godzilla's boxing him. You are so bad.
Yeah! Why do we need Rocky in this movie? He's already here!
He's missing every punch.
Rodan's like, I gotta deal with him. This is kind of embarrassing.
I've seen Power Ranger monster fights better choreographed than this. Because this fight is just, let's bounce him around a bunch. It'll be really dramatic. Is he dancing now? I don't think he's dancing now.
He's taking cover.
It looks more like dancing than this.
Rodan's on fire. Oh no. The latex got fire.
I like the
I was like,
human parts better.
Isn't he supposed to be on fire? Oh, I guess not, because he's not on fire in the next shot.
So there's clearly not a man's head in the Godzilla head, because the Godzilla head just bounces.
Well, the person's head is like in the neck.
Yeah, clearly. Because his head just
Oh,
does
here we
this
go,
a
here we
lot.
go.
Yeah, baby!
Did they just drop styrofoam in the water?
That's Rodan.
It looked like styrofoam.
He immediately fell. That took too much out of him.
Hi, Glenn.
The H2.
Look for the H2O.
Oh.
It's water. Thomas Lowe, it's not fair that Cap is the only one who's watching this for the first time. I concur. Is somebody going to pick up the telephone?
Ghidorah, where are you going? There's only a minute left.
Wait,
so
Dad.
I want a
gotta
phone
leave.
ring that sounds like that. What?
Is this the first commentary where I have seen this movie, but you have not?
I believe so. Oh, wow, there is only 1 minute left in this movie. What? That last half hour shot by.
You're heading back to Planet X. Wait, what?
Oh, and it's the end of a TOS episode. Everybody's laughing at something that's
He
not
said-
funny.
He said pal like John
Whoa.
McClane. Welcome to the body, pal.
We
The body
we gotta
bag!
get back into Uncharted planet. Can't catch a break, am I right, guys? Like,
And that's it. Oh my god, that was amazing. You guys could not oversell that movie. That was incredible.
Ah, look out the window! Oh no, not Janus Films again.
It just immediately went to destroy all monsters.
All of them.
I love if you look up MonsterVerse like fan things, they just like steal like MCU phases and like they'll do the MonsterVerse thing, and you always at the end get Destroy All Monsters Part 1 and Part 2. And it's like, oh, guys.
I forgot
Look,
all
it's a
about
formula that works, Austin, okay? We have to apply it to everything now.
I love talking to people that like will like theorize stuff like that for like the overall franchise, but they're like, oh, you know, you can't introduce too many monsters because you really gotta, you know, like flesh them out. And it's like, guys, they don't have characters; they're just giant things that walk.
By definition, they're monsters, yeah.
You can throw in 1 million of them in one movie; it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we're really worried about the BVS effect in the MonsterVerse.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have that scene with the email in the MonsterVerse where you're like, here's all these monsters we found, in a way that you can't with the Justice League. That was crazy. Thank you guys for showing me that, and thank you guys for both being here, because Jason and I were just going to do this on our own, and I'm really glad that you guys were here because I learned a lot, and it was fun because I got to watch you guys lose your minds at Jason's incredible voiceover.
Now you just sound like Peter Griffin.
So, yeah, no, I think this might have actually been my first commentary on the channel.
Have you never done?
and-
You know what? I had that thought because I was like, I wonder if I need to tell Connor how commentaries work.
No, I've watched enough of them, you know, and I owned this movie, so I think we're good. No, I'm honored. I mean, we've threatened it before, right?
Yeah.
When I come and visit, like we always throw around the idea of a commentary, but I'm honored. My first commentary here was for Godzilla versus Monster Zero, aka Invasion of Astro Monster.
Well, really appropriate because you're the reason this happened, and that wasn't intentional, by the way. That you've never been on a commentary. You've done channel stuff with this for years. I honestly didn't realize that.
No, I was just thinking about it today because I know, like, we talked about, like, you were wanting to do a commentary with me on Jurassic House, and I wanted to do a commentary with you on Suicide Squad, and then we just ran out of time while I was in Kansas. So
two horrible movies.
Yeah, if we do that, that shouldn't be a double feature. I'm thinking.
Yes! Yes!
You know what, Cap? You can tap out. Me and Jayson can tackle Suicide Squad, and me and you can do the Jurassic House, and then we can.
I would love to see Jayson watch Suicide Squad for the first time.
Yeah.
Because he's never seen it.
Oh, you're in for it.
That sounds like a great blind commentary. Maybe the only way I would want to do that commentary, honestly. Just to...
Jayson, you can take my spot for all you want, man.
No, we can do it. We can just watch Jayson's jaw on the floor the entire time.
I'll put it on the list.
Jayson just starts putting Godzilla's voice in
Jared Leto. He does have that
no,
kind of
I
laugh,
was
because his Joker laugh, he's like, because the end of his laugh sounds like you're opening a rusty door.
That's true. It does, and that's exactly what his sounds like.
What, my Ghidorah or my
Yes.
Godzilla? Because my Godzilla's like,
but no, I was gonna say Killer Croc. He does it for Killer Croc.
Yeah. Well, no, because with Killer Croc, you got to be authentic and do his proper voice, because it's ridiculous.
He has a proper voice. Oh, you just mean in that movie?
Yeah, in that movie. Yes, he does. That is like the most quotable stuff for me in that movie is every little Killer Croc line.
I have to do this every time that movie comes up. Every video we've ever mentioned that movie, I always ask the question, because this is the thing, out of all the insane, stupid stuff in that movie, the thing that most drives me crazy is what brought down the helicopter? I have to ask it every time. What brought down the helicopter? No one can ever tell me.
And then once they get off the helicopter, nobody questions it. They're like, well, here's a helicopter got shot down.
They just start walking around
in the middle of the streets for the rest of the movie.
It's worse than how did the new Power Rangers get home after the crash in 2017. It's worse than that.
Yeah,
anyway.
don't they just like wake up in their beds? That happens in that movie.
But at least there's a question about it, but they never answer it. They never talk about it again. There's a part where Billy or somebody is like, or Kimberly, I forget, is like, yeah, I don't even know how we got home last night. It just never comes up again. At least somebody mentioned it. The helicopter is just, and now we're walking around.
You know, I'll bet how that happened was like they're on set and somebody's like, I got a question. How did we get in our beds last night? And everyone just like gets awkward. Everyone goes quiet and looks around. And just ask somebody ask that question, and we'll figure it out later.
I need the first contact crewman from the Plinkett reviews to just pop up and go, excuse me! I have a question!
Hi. Excuse me? I have a question.
This is a really, really tragic scene right now. Anakin's killing sand people.
So anyway, thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us on this one quarter blind commentary. This was so much fun, and I'm really glad that we did it. This is a real impromptu kind of random choice. Jayson, this whole thing happened because you brought it up.
Yes.
So thanks for doing that. And this whole thing happened because Connor showed it to Jayson but didn't bother to include me. And I'm really glad that it happened this way because it was so much fun doing this on camera.
Well, thank you, Jayson, for coming up with the idea.
Yeah.
And Austin was here.
And I helped.
Not really, though.
Oh.
You just helped by being here. You just showed up. Thanks.
All right, folks.
Your
On that note, we're
camera.
gonna. He does that. On that note, we're gonna go out and get going. Thanks again, everybody. Really appreciate it. I'll be back again if all goes according to plan Sunday night for a new episode of Superhero Rewind Unscripted. We're not doing a review this week. We're gonna do an off the beaten path video where I'm gonna take a look at the blurbs on the backs of superhero movie DVD and Blu-ray boxes and see how some of these things are advertised. It is more entertaining than it sounds. It gets really fun and interesting, and there's also some really great mistakes we'll take a look at. So I hope you'll join me that night, 10 o'clock Central, and you can watch it after
Are
the
you
fact.
becoming me?
In what way?
Well, because now you're looking at like box
The-
mistakes.
Did he really just
The
say
father
this?
becomes the
Did
son.
he just,
and
just
son
say the son becomes the father and the father becomes the son? You beat me by 2 seconds, and it's not okay. It's not fair.
But the line is always you beat me by 3 seconds.
I know, but it was even quicker this time.
Oh. Well, but you messed it up.
Thanks again, guys. We're going to get going. I was Captain Logan. This was Jayson,
Yeah.
and we had Austin the Day Ghost.
Connor, next time you come back, we got Wayne's World on the list, so that'll be the
Yes.
next
We do.
time.
Okay. Yeah.
And Connor Nielsen.
Party on, Wayne.
Later, folks.